Hello, what's up everybody? How is it going? Welcome to another video of the tutorial series of PHP Specials. As promised, we'll be learning in every day or two a new tip or a new lesson for those who are at least learning PHP and they are struggling to solve their problems. So in this tutorial series, we'll be learning with some special topics which we don't usually learn while we learn PHP basics. So immediately after we finish our PHP basics lesson, we will be covering some videos in this tutorial series that will be helpful to us to move further in the process of learning PHP. And in today's tutorial, we'll be learning the topic of making search in our database. So how to build a system where we can search some query or search some word or phrase in the entire database. So usually find that in every news site or every some kind of blog site or in e-commerce site, we usually find a form where we can search for our products or search for our news blogs with respect to the keywords we provide to the form. So how do we implement such a search form? We'll be learning that today in this video. For that, I have already created a table called news in the database PHP Specials just to save some time, and I have added some few news over here, around 7 news with the title, description and author. So what we'll be doing today is we'll be creating a script of let's say a search form with the listed news below it, and we'll be providing a keyword and we'll be matching the keyword against the title and description or even author. So if any of the phrase or any of the words are found in this field or in description or in author, we'll be listing those entries and we'll be avoiding other entries. So suppose, for example, if somebody searches for Italy votes in uncertain general election, then we'll be searching this phrase in each and every news, and we will only list those news where this phrase is found. Similarly, it should not be the entire phrase or entire sentence. Some people might only search for Italy, so we'll search Italy in each and every news, okay, and all those news which has Italy within it, we'll list those news in our listing. Similarly, if someone search for, let's say, not only a word or entire sentence, but if somebody search for some a collection of words like uncertain general election, we'll again find the provided words and try to match those words in each and every say listing we have, and if any of the entries matches those list of words, we will list them. So this is what we are going today. So let's open my AMPS is already open. I'm using AMPS as I already mentioned in the previous video. So let me just quickly open my Sublime Text. Okay, so I think we have a folder called PHP Specials inside my document root, which is amps www and PHP Specials. Here it is. Let me just drag this and drop it in Sublime. We are done. I will create a new page today and name it as, let's say, search. Okay, I'm naming it search because in future it will be easy for us to know what we did in that day. And by the way, I am sharing all this source code in GitHub, and I'm providing those links in along with my YouTube video, so you can find the link of GitHub if you are trying to get the source code, and you can find the link in the description below. Okay, the first thing that I want to do is create a listing form. I'm in listing table, so let me just create an HTML script. My title will be, let's say, news. Okay, So in my body, first of all, I need to say create a table. Let me give some attributes like border equals to 1, and width, let's make it 100%. Now I want to connect with the database so that I can fetch these entries from the database and list it in the table. But before that, let me create some headings for this table. So let me just put it in thtr tag followed by th inside it. So I think we have 4 entries, 1 2 3 4. Let me just maximize this. So 1 2 3 and 4. Let us make the first heading to be ID, second heading to be title, and third heading to be description, and fourth heading to be author. Okay, so we are done with the headings. Now let's connect to the database and fetch the entries and list it in the table. No. The first thing that we need to do to grab the entries from the database is to connect to the MySQL server and the database. And for that, let me quickly write the query if you are not aware of how to do this. And I hope you are already aware of this. But let me just use the procedural way and quickly connect to the database. MySQL_connect. The first parameter will be my host name, which is localhost for AMS. And the second parameter is my username, which is root, and my third parameter is my password. And since I'm using AMS, my default password is MySQLi. It can be blank for most of you if you are using XAMPP or WAMP in Windows environment. My final parameter is my database name, which is PHP_Specials. Okay, so this is how I connected to my MySQL server and my database. And now let me prepare a link to grab all the entries from this table news. Okay, so my query would be select all from, my table name is news. So I wrote this query. Now I need to execute this, and for that I will write let's say result, or let's just say result. Okay, result equals to MySQLi_query. It is the function to run any query. So its first parameter should be this link, which is returned by MySQLi connect. So my first parameter would be link, and my second parameter would be this q. Okay, since it has multiple entries, I need to fetch the entries using while loop. So let's do this. While $news equals to MySQLi_fetch_object of $result. So by doing this, I'm just trying to loop through each and every entries and place the entire row to the news, so that I can use the entries like news, arrow, and ID in each loop. So you will know it shortly. So in each loop, I want to print a row tr along with the data ID, title, description, and author. So let me close my PHP over here so that I can write plain HTML within it. So this is how I usually do it. So tr, and within tr I need 4 data, right? So 1 2 3 and 4. The first data would be my ID, which is $news arrow ID, because I'm using object over here. So I need to use ID to get the ID of each of each row, right? So PHP, this should have echo in front of it, echo $news, and my second field is title. And similarly, my third data will be echo $news and description. And the description could be really long, so it would be hard for us to maintain it in a table, and we will just quickly find out the solution for this. But let me just complete the table first, and my final entry could be news author, right? So this is how we will list the entries of database in my HTML table. Let me quickly run this to check to see if everything went good. So localhost /php underscore specials slash my file name is search, right? Search.php. It says access denied for user root using password. Yes, there must be some problem with my password. It is not my SQLi, it's my SQL. Okay. Okay, now we got the entry, and in each entry I'm getting the value of each row in the database. So first, this is the first row in from my database, this is the second, and fine, similarly this is the last one. I don't want to show the entire description in my table because it is just making it look really awful. So let me just quickly strip this entire description to few character. So there's a function in PHP to do that, and that is substring. So I hope you are aware of substring, but if you are not, let's not worry, I'll just explain it quickly. So this is the description, and I just want to show only few characters or only few words of the description. So what I can do is I can use a function called substr, and what it really does is we can specify the starting position of this description and the number of characters we want to display in second and third parameter. So our first parameter would be our text, and my second parameter would be my starting position, which is 0th index, and my third parameter will be the number of characters I want to display, and let's say I want to display 50 characters for now. And after this is done, I just want to concatenate it with dot dot dot, so that people would understand that this is not all we've got in description, right? So let me refresh it, and you can see now the 50 characters are being displayed and followed by dot dot dot, so that people can understand that this is not all, and we have something more in the description. Now let's do something else. Now we can create a form on the top of the table that allows us to search some phrase or search some sentence or word in this table, and we can match against that table and display it in this listing, filter in this listing accordingly. So let me create a table. I'm in form above the table, so it should be form. My method would be post, or let's say get. It's often very useful to use get in search form because when we refresh the page, and if we are using post, we lose all the data. But since get provides all the parameters in the URL itself, so even if we refresh, the parameters in the URL are still there and our search will still work. So it is a good idea to use get in the search form instead of post. And I would like to use the action to be the same file. So if we leave the action to be blank, it will post this form to the same file, so that we can manipulate the query according to our search, according to our field, according to the words we provide to the field of our search form in the same file, and list it accordingly and change our query here as per the phrase or the word provided in the form. So I'm submitting this form in the same page. Okay, let me create a field, input field, where we can type our words. So it is input type equals to text, and my name will be, let's say, keyword. Okay, and this input will be followed by a button, input type equals to submit, and I don't want to give any name to this button, and let me just give a value saying search. Let us see how it looks like. So we have input field with a search button, right? And let me break some line after the form so that it looks a little bit cleaner. BR and BR. Even above the form, let us say BR and BR. So we have created a form that allows us to search in this page and it should match the keyword as per title, description and author, and if anything matches it should list here, and if nothing matches it should not list anything over here, or it should only list those entries which matches as per the keyword provided. Let's do this now. Now if you just submit this search by typing, let's say, anything and search, you can see that the keyword is now in the URL. Now all we need to do is we should check if the keyword is set in the URL, and if it is there we should grab it and try to write a query that match against the title, description or author. The first step would be checking to see if the form is submitted and the keyword is there in the URL. So the way to do that is, let me just write it inside PHP using isSet. So inside my if statement I'm using isSet $_get what was that, keyword. So what I'm doing is, if the keyword is there in the URL, if it is in the URL, it means it is being sent through get. So having a question mark here, the first thing after the question mark is our say index of the get, and the second parameter after the equal to is the value of that index. So we are sending ADF in the index keyword of get, right? So we are fetching the value of keyword only if it is set in the URL. If it is not there, we should not fetch it. So if it is there, we will just do like $keyword equals to $_get keyword. And if it is not there, we want to set the keyword to be blank, right? Let's save it. Now we should modify this query a little bit. What we should say is, if the keyword is blank, list everything. But if the keyword is not blank and the keyword is provided by in the search form, we should modify this query so that the listing matches and the keyword provided by the form. So what we are going to do here is, if $keyword, if not $keyword, which means if keyword is blank, then the query should be this. Okay. So if the keyword is blank, my query should be this. But if the keyword is not blank, else my query should be something else. Before writing the query, let's try those query in PHP itself so that it is easier for us to understand what we are about to do. So if we want to match a title, let's say it's just title, what we should do is we should write a query this way: select all from news where title like, let's say, Italy. We are searching against Italy, ITLY. What it does is it exactly searches for Italy in the listing, okay, and it will show us nothing. Why nothing? Because what it is trying to do is it is trying to find the title which is exactly Italy, not containing Italy, but exactly the title should be exactly Italy, and we don't have any title which is exactly Italy, but there are more words along with Italy in the title, so it is showing nothing. So what we need to do is, let's run query where title like Italy, and Italy should be in the quote, but we should say that it can be preceded by anything else and it can be followed by anything else. So the percentage before the word means that there could be anything before it, and the percentage after the word means there could be anything after it. So the percentage is used as a, like a, say, it is denoting us that there can be anything before the word or there can be anything after the word. So it means that if anything is followed by Italy, it matches against that, and if anything is before Italy, it also matches against that. Okay, so what if you want to do, first of all, let's just try this. So we can see that now Italy is found because we have used the percentage before and after Italy. Now what if we want to find something that should start from Italy and could end on anything? What I mean to say is, where title like, it should always start from the Italy, 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 but it can have anything after that. So in this case, we can still find an entry because this title is being started from Italy and it is being followed by something else. So this is exactly what it's saying, that the sentence should, or the title should start from Italy but can be followed by anything else. Let us try to modify this query again. Let's run the query that says title like, there can be anything before it, but it should be followed by Italy. Okay, let's try this. It is not finding anything because this query is saying that there must be something before Italy. Okay, but it should be followed by Italy, and we don't have anything matching this query because Italy appears in the front, in the, let's say, in the beginning of the word, of the sentence, so we don't find anything preceding Italy, so it is saying that it was not able to find this entry. Okay, so this is the basic rule of matching the word against the field of the database. So this is exactly what we want to do over here. So if we don't have keyword, we will grab each and every entries of the table and show it in the listing. But if we find that user is providing a keyword and keyword is not blank, then in else statement we'll modify query like this. So q equals to select all from news where title like, and within my quote I should provide the keyword, but keyword, since keyword is a PHP variable, so I need to concatenate it this way, $keyword, right? So if you are using double quote as parent, you don't need to concatenate, but if you just concatenate, it is nothing so complex. You just need to close the opening quote, provide a dot for concatenation, write the variable, again concatenate, and provide the double quote, the parent quote, and within the two parent quotes we will providing our single quote, because single quote is being treated as a string in this query. So if you are getting complex, let me just explain you. So this is my double quote. So within this query I need to have a keyword within a single quote. So if I want to concatenate keyword within this single quote, what I need to do is I just need to check what is the parent quote, and I will write two parent quotes between this single quote. So I'll do double quote, okay, and within the double quote and double quote I'll just write two dots, dot dot, and within that dot I'll write keyword. This is how I did my concatenation. But what we also need to do is we should see that the keyword could also be preceded by anything, and keyword could also be followed by anything. All right, now let's try to write this again. So within our single quote we should write our criteria. So title should be like, it can be preceded by anything and it can be followed by anything, and my keyword should be inside this. So I need to concatenate my keyword over here, so I'll write my double quote this way, two double quotes, and within the two double quotes I'll write two dots, and within the two dots I should provide my keyword this way. So this is my query. So this query will match the keyword only against title. Okay, let's check to see if it worked. Refresh. Let me remove this. Okay, refresh. So right now, since the keyword is blank, so it is selecting everything, right? Now if I provide like vote, since vote is here, and if I search for it, it will search vote in each and every field, and whichever field it finds vote, it will list that entry in our listing. Let's see. You can see the vote was found here, so it listed the vote over here. Now let us again make the keyword blank and search for, let's say, the, because the should be in almost every entry, So let us suppose we are searching for the. So if I search for the, it seems that the was only in these two titles. So the and the. So the is here and the is here. So it searched for the, and it found that the is mentioned in these two fields. Okay. Let us again clear the keyword. Let us try to search off. Okay. So it will search for off in these title, and wherever it finds off, it will list it. Let's see how many title has off in it. There are two titles with off, and this is this. News number 3, and this news number 6. No other title has off inside it, so we only listed 3 and 6 when we search for off. Now let us make something like if it is not found in title, we can also search that keyword inside description or even in author. So if somebody provides any keyword, we should search that keyword in title, description, and author. So in that case, what we need to do is we should provide our query in this way, that select all from news with title like keyword or description like keyword or author like keyword, right? So I'm just copying this and separating it by or, paste, or title like this. Let me just search, copy from here to here, even or, okay, and paste it and paste it, or. So our first condition is the title should be like keyword, and if it doesn't match, or description could also be like keyword, or if it doesn't match, even author could be like keyword. So it searches that keyword in each and every field, like even in title or in description or in author. And if it finds that keyword in title or in description in author, it will list it. Let's see. Now let's search for dead. Search. So dead was found. It was not found in any title. So it starts searching it in description, and it found that the dead is here in the description, so it lists it, right? Let me again clear my search. Now let's search for Justin, maybe. Search. So it found Justin in only in this entry in author, so it listed the author. I'm in this entry. Now let us search for something common like the. Okay, search. So the was found in each and every description and also in some titles. So it listed each and every news, because it is sure that a long sentence or a long paragraph will surely have the within it, right? Let us make this a little bit more complex, and let's say police. I saw police over here, so I doubt if police is there in more description, but let me just search it. It found it only in this entry, so it listed police. So this is how we make search in the available lists and among the database, various entries of database. So I hope this was easy enough for you to understand, and if you have any confusions, you can mention it in the comments. And if you like the video, please like it, subscribe it, share it. I really appreciate that, and I hope I will be back soon with new video. Till then, stay tuned. Have a nice day. Bye bye.